Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. So, a little story time, just a little short story time about what happened to me this evening. And then I want to go into a little bit about kind of a homework assignment for you, for some of you, not all of you, but just for a few of you. And then I'm probably going to continue that with a little bit of a rant. I apologize. So, story time first. I was just taking the bus from a meeting tonight, and it's about a 3-mile drive, which in Las Vegas can take a half hour, 35 minutes because we stop at every single bus stop. But there was this little old lady who was sitting next to me. She was this crinkly, little, wrinkly old lady. She turns out she was 82. And we started talking about the weather and how hot it is. And she said she's getting away from all of this, but she's moving to North Carolina to live with one of her kids. And, you know, she's this crinkly, kind of rough around the edges old lady. She wasn't like, you know, sweet little grandma. She was a little rougher around the edges. Apparently she was a trucker earlier in her life. Not to say that truckers are rough around the edges, but whatever. So she was going to be flying from Vegas to San Francisco and then San Francisco to North Carolina. And she was very upset that that airline she's flying with, which I suspect was probably Frontier, she was complaining that they don't have free snacks. You had to pay for your snacks. I don't know if they fly to San Francisco, I'll be very excited because I love going there. I hate flying to Oakland first, but whatever. So she has to fly to San Francisco, but she didn't say there she's flying to San Francisco. She said she has to fly to Gay Bay first and then on to North Carolina. I'm like, Gay Bay, where's Gay Bay? And I said, I've never heard of Gay Bay. And she goes, Gay Bay, it's San Francisco. We call it Gay Bay because there's lots of funny people there. And she gives me this old lady one-eye look. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she goes, yeah, they have a lot of funny people there. And I said, oh, well, I'm one of those funny people. Little pregnant pause. And she looks at me and goes, you seem like a nice guy. I'm like, I am. I try to be. And so we kept on talking. And she said something about her husband. She has had she was married 3 times. I'm not sure why she told me that. She was married 3 times. 2 of them died from cancer. Another one died from something else. I said, well, you beat me. I've only been married once. And she says, little old lady fashion, she's like, well, women are difficult. No wonder you switch sides. I'm like, switch sides? Oh, no. I said, my ex-husband, I was married to a man. He's a jerk, but he's a man. And she looked at me again with the one eye, and she goes, you seem like a nice guy. Thanks. And we just, that was really it. We just had a little bit more of a conversation, super nice. Gave her some tips about flying and how to fly more comfortably and how to get to Terminal 3 from where she was going to be going. And we had a nice time. And I got off the bus. She's like, have a good night. I'm like, you too. Oh, she said one more time before I got off the bus. She goes, I'm sorry, I have a big mouth. And I take that to mean that she was apologizing for the Gay Bay comment and funny people and all that. So that's what I took it to mean. But she's like, I'm sorry, I have a big mouth. I said, no problem, no harm, no foul. And I said, I got off the bus, and she's like, have a good night. And I said, you too. So I'm walking home, and I'm thinking how funny this whole conversation was. She was so purely little old lady. It was comical, really. And I do find it funny when people don't automatically assume that I'm as gay as I am, because I really do think I sound pretty gay. So why was I telling you this story, and what could it potentially possibly mean to a flight attendant? So I'm on Facebook quite a bit. I've joined a lot of flight attendant Facebook groups, most of them focusing on potential flight attendants or people who are aspiring to become a flight attendant. And for the most part, if you're a member of these groups, you know, for the most part, most people are very nice, supportive, encouraging. They're wonderful. And then once in a while, all too often, actually, there's a jerk that just pops up out of the blue. Someone asked yesterday, I think it was yesterday, they posted a question to the line of, is it okay for a flight attendant to have tattoos or something like that? This question pops up once in a while and it dies down and it pops up again. And again, people were very nice for the most part. And then there's a couple people who were just absolute jerks. Why? Why would they be jerks? Hasn't this question been beaten to death? Blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, they were just unpleasant. And this is just one potential way for them to be unpleasant. There's so many topics that are discussed fairly often, like cyclically, because someone will ask a question about, say, tattoos. Is it okay to have a tattoo and be a flight attendant? Someone will ask that question who maybe just joined the Facebook community maybe a few days, weeks, months before, and they did not hear or recognize that there was a conversation already about the topic. Maybe they didn't use the search bar and type in tattoos. Who does that naturally? I don't. When I go on Facebook, I type a question. I'll go, oh, I wonder if this has been discussed before. So people just get really, really rude on Facebook. Not all of you, there's a number of you, and somehow I'm thinking from the content that I give and the comments that you guys send me, I don't imagine there's a lot of those people watching my videos, so I think that I might be preaching to the choir. But what I'd like you to do, and this is the homework I kind of want to assign everybody, is try to practice being nice to people you don't know, to people you disagree with or don't see eye to eye with. There are times I slip. If you start talking to me about the current political climate in this country, I'm not the nicest guy in the world. I have to tell you, I feel that our civil liberties are at risk. I think this country is going to be convulsing in some real problems soon. But outside of that, I want to assign you guys homework. When you're at a convenience store or a gas station and the guy behind the counter is a jerk because he's just underpaid, working very hard, and no one's paying any mind to him, be nice to him. If someone is a kind of a creep and cuts in front of you at the supermarket, try not to be an absolute jerk in response. Try to practice being a nicer person, honestly, on a daily basis. Not only in person, but on Facebook. The people who go on those flight attendant Facebook forums and groups, frequently, especially if they're new to the conversation, they're innocent. They really don't know, honestly, the kind of venom that some of these innocent posts inspires. And it's not a great way to welcome anybody into a conversation, never mind a career and lifestyle. What are the benefits? Why should you try this? Because we have a lot of jerks as flight attendants. My own airline, and you know how much I love my company. Every airline, I'm sure, has their share of bad apples, but when one pops up out of the blue, it's a surprise, and it's not easy. It's not easy. There's always a flight attendant that everyone talks about in the crew room. There's usually a couple of them. In my airline, thankfully, there's only like 2 that people like to kind of gossip about because they're absolute jerks in the air. So if you're looking to become a flight attendant, if you find yourself being sassy and kind of smart to people who you may not agree with or even have listened to, but you still find yourself making these little sassy, smart comments, try practicing bringing that down a little bit. Because I have to tell you, you're going to feel a lighter sense of peace just in general. But as a flight attendant going to your interviews and stuff like that, you won't have to act so much when you get to this interview and pretend to be a nice person who loves people and likes to travel, right? Tomorrow, I'm not sure if I mentioned, tomorrow is our flight attendant hiring event we're holding in Vegas for some Dallas flight crew, from cabin crew. We're going to be offering a lot of CJOs to people to be based in Dallas. And the part about this event tomorrow that's giving me a little bit of agita is that I know that most of those people are super nice. The candidates are super, super nice. A lot of you, I've actually reached out and said hello, hi. But there's always a number of people who are really great actors and present themselves in a friendly, loving way. When they actually get on the line, and God help us, after they get off probation, they're jerks. And I keep using the word jerk, but there's no other way for me to politely say what I think without being in trouble with Facebook and YouTube. I'm sorry. They're jerks. So I'm a little anxious that we're going to be letting through people who I might have actually helped coach into getting the job. A fear of mine is that I've given so much instruction and so much direction that someone who is not a genuinely nice person could potentially take that information and actually get the job as a flight attendant, and then I have to fly with them and they're jerks. That's an anxiety I have right now. But I'm also kind of hungry, so maybe that's because I'm hungry. So there you go. There's a little parable, a little story about being nice to people who just don't agree with you or see eye to eye. You could potentially be the first person to give them contrary information. This woman's opinion of gay people might have been really negative, but after our interaction on the bus, she may have turned around and had a slightly different opinion or feeling about some gay people. So, right? So I'm going to give you the task of trying to be that light for other people and try not to bring people down by making smart, sassy, what you think is sassy and funny to other people. You're just kind of a jerk. So let's all try to be nicer to each other and we'll have a nicer time, right? All right, so I'm going to have to watch this video and see if it's worth posting because I went off on like 50 tangents. But if I do post it and you're going to make a comment, be nice, right? Okay. Well, fly safe. And if I do see any of you at the hiring event tomorrow, wave, say hi. Definitely let me know you're there. And we'll talk to you soon, okay? Fly safe. Bye.